So we continue with the sifat, with the characteristics of Ibadur Rahman, begging Allah Azza wa Jal to make us all among them. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. So we mentioned few of the characteristics. Number one is that yamshuna ala al-ardi hawna, when they walk, they walk with humility. When the jahil, when the ignorant talk to them, they leave with dignity. And then they said that they are up performing qiyam all the time, sujjadan wa qiyama. وَالَّذِينَ, what was the last time? إِذَا أَنفَقُوا, when they spend, they are neither extravagant nor miserly. And today we come to a major characteristic. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not mention what they do, He mentioned what they do not do. وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَدْعُونَ مَعَ اللَّهِ إِلَهًا آخَرَ وَلَا يَقْتُلُونَ النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ وَلَا يَزْنُونَ وَمَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ يلقى أثاما يضاعف له العذاب يوم القيامة ويخلد فيه مهانا إلا من تاب وآمن وعمل عملا صالحا فأولئك يبدل الله سيئاتهم حسنات وكان الله غفورا رحيما ومن تاب وعمل صالحا فإنه يتوب إلى الله متابا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ibadur Rahman لا يدعون, they do not invoke anyone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'll explain three and then I will mention three and then I'll explain. And they do not kill any soul without a just cause. And they do not commit adultery. Three huge, major sins. As a matter of fact, there's a hadith in Bukhari. A man came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and he said, Ya Rasulullah, what is the biggest sin in the sight of Allah? He said, أن تجعل الله ندا وقد خلقك. To associate a partner with him and he's the one who created you. And he said, what's next? The next one is going to blow your mind. He said, to kill your son out of fear that he might share your food. Can you imagine? And Rasulullah is not going to mention something that does not exist. It used to happen. Can you imagine you killing your son because he's going to share your food, right? Which is the second one, يقتلون. And the third one, he said, to commit adultery with your neighbor's wife, specifically. So those three are the worst sins in the sight of Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned them all in order. لا يدعون مع الله إلها آخر ولا يقتلون النفس التي حرم الله إلا بالحق ولا يزنون. So number one is, ya akhwan, pure tawheed. And this is what our whole deen is based on. It's based on tawheed. It's based on la ilaha illallah. I want you to ask yourself one question. If you can imagine it. Can you imagine your life without la ilaha illallah? Just for, how? It's impossible. Impossible. Wallahi, I feel like you'll become like Allah said, kal an'am, like a cow, like a kharoof, like a sheep. You know, you're just going. You know, you don't know where you're going. You have no goal, no purpose. Subhanallah, Tawheed is our core, is our base, is our foundation. Without it, we have nothing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started, these people, they do not call into the graves. They do not call the trees. They do not call into a cow. They call upon Allah Azza wa Jal only. Ya akhwan, what is dhulm? When somebody asks you, if somebody asks you, what is dhulm? What is oppression? Anybody can define oppression? What is dhulm?
Not to give right.
Exactly. Not to give the right of someone to someone else. This is dhulm. I took something from you and I gave it to you without any right. You have no right to have it. This is dhulm. Your brother took your piece of land and he gave it to someone else. This is dhulm. This is my land. Similarly, when we worship other than Allah, not only dhulm, dhulmun azim, Allah called it. This is the right of Allah only, and you're giving it to someone else. This belongs to ibadah is only to Allah, and you decided to worship someone else. When you call, إِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ, when you ask only Allah. Now you're going to the graves to ask them. You're giving the right of Allah to someone else. This is ظلم عظيم. لا يدعون مع الله إلها آخر. Ya Mu'adh, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked, do you know what is the haqq of Allah on the ibad? Do you know what's the right of Allah upon their ibad? He said, yes, Ya Rasulullah, Allah wa Rasuluhu a'lam. What is it? He said, أن يعبدوه ولا يشركوا به شيئا. This is the haqq of Allah upon us, is to worship Him without associating any partners with Him. And sometimes we belittle the issues of shirk. Sometimes we fall into shirk without even noticing. You know, the people who read the horoscope, they're falling into some minor form of shirk because they think that this person who wrote this horoscope knows the ghaib. And they read it every day and they decide and they plan their day according to this, whatever they read. Some people, maybe you'll find it funny, but some people plan their day according to the horoscope. You know that going to a fortune teller is a major shirk. If you just go there 40 days, your salah is not accepted. And if you believe what you heard, you're out of Islam. كَفَرَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ عَلَى مُحَمَّدٍ. We take it lightly. Let's go around and joke around and have fun and see what she's going to say. We're not going to believe her. We're just going to have fun. It's haram. So sometimes we fall into shirk without even noticing. Because anytime someone mentions shirk, we imagine that I am making sujood to an idol. We think that this is the only shirk. This is a major shirk, absolutely. But this is not the only shirk. We might fall into shirk without even noticing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the characteristics of these people is لا يدعون مع الله إلها آخر. They do not call upon anybody else other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we are in the nights of dua and the days of dua, ya akhwan. So please, make the dua sincerely from your heart. And like I mentioned yesterday in the short khatira, and I will end with this because it's a weekday, and I will continue the rest, inshallah ta'ala, in the next days. Don't worry about how. We always worry about how Allah is going to solve this problem. How? It is cancer stage 4. How? It's $1 million debt. How? My son is already misguided. He's gone. He's left Islam. My daughter is, forgot it, she took off her hijab. How? Don't worry about the how. Get busy with the dua. Get busy with the begging. Leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Leave it to Allah Azza wa Jal to find the solution. He is the one who told us, I will provide for you. And provide here is a solution for anything from sources you've never expected. Never expected. So inshallah ta'ala, the first characteristic from those 3 is that they do not commit any shirk. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.